We are back again with our book reading. Like last time, we were in page 97 of Autobiography of a Yogi. So today we'll be doing page 98, and I know it's been a long, really long gap. So let's begin. So last, what we saw that during the spiritual process, during the spiritual journey, what exactly happens that you come to encounter a lot of people who project, who delude you that they are spiritual, they wear the mask of spirituality, but in actual they are not that much connected to the divine. So this is what we read. In page 97, and how Sri Yukteswar ji was above this delusion, means he was untouched with this, you can say, Maya, and how he used to intuitively know that his chelas, his disciples are getting influence of Maya. He could simply read the minds. So in page 97, let's see what's there next. So imagination is the door through which diseases as well as healing enters. Disbelief in the reality of sickness, even when you are ill, an unrecognized visitor will flee. Master numbered many doctors among his disciples. Those who have ferreted our physical laws can easily investigate the science of the souls. He told them a subtle spiritual mechanism is hidden just behind the bodily structure. Sri Yukteswarji counseled his students to, to be living license of Western and Eastern virtues. Himself an executive, Occidental in outer habits, inwardly he was the spiritual Oriental. He praised the progressive, resourceful, and hygienic habits of the West and the religious ideals which give centuried halo to the East. Discipline had not been unknown to me. At home, father was strict, Ananta often severe, but Sri Yukteswar's training cannot be described other than drastic. A perfectionist, my guru was hypercritical of his disciplines, whether in matters of moments or in subtle nuisance of behavior. Good manners without sincerity are like beautiful dead ladies. He remarked on suitable occasion, straightforwardness without civility is like surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. Candor with courtesy is helpful and admirable. So over here, Guruji is saying that imagination is the door through which disease as well as healing enters. So like disease is also not visible. Disease energy over here, it's talking about disease energy. It's not visible. In the same way, healing energy is not visible until and unless it enters the body. So disbelieve in the reality of sickness even when you are ill. An unrecognized visitor will flee. So it is telling that even when you are ill, even there, if there's something going on with your body, just deny it. Just say that there's no such disease in your body. You are completely fine. So what happens that you tap into the healing energy. Master numbered many doctors among his disciples, those who have ferreted out the physical laws and easily investigate the science of soul. He told them a subtle spiritual mechanism is hidden just behind the bodily structure. So, what we see is the body, but there is a subtle spiritual mechanism which is hidden behind the body, which is basically he's talking about the healing energies, how the body can heal itself, and you just need to be healing centric than disease centric. He said that he believed his students, he counseled his student considering the Western and Eastern virtues, and for him discipline was very important. And Guruji's life was not unaware with the factor of discipline, as his father was very strict. Then his elder brother Ananta, he was another person who was severely strict, and Sri Yukteswarji was also very very strict. He was a perfectionist, and over here very beautifully it is described that Good manners without sincerity are like a beautiful dead lady. So if you have a good manner without discipline, like without sincerity, sticking to it, it is like a beautiful dead lady, good for nothing. It is just beauty, lie down. He remarked on a suitable occasion. Straightforwardness without civility is like a surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. Like a lot of people, they use honesty as a tool. Like, we are straightforward people, we talk honestly. But over here, Master is saying that straightforwardness without civility means it should also be disciplined. It should not give an unpleasant experience. Like if someone has dressed up in not that good way, you simply cannot go and say that you have dressed, you look ugly, you're not looking good. So you need to be very careful whether your straightforwardness is giving unpleasant experience to someone. So over here, he is saying that straightforwardness without civility is like a surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. It is effective, it will be effective, but it will give a very unpleasant experience. Candor with courtesy is helpful and admirable. So, whatever means over here, discipline in two areas you can see. Like if you are a person, very good, well mannered person, over there discipline needs to, discipline, if you're a good person, very often we have seen that people who are very kind, compassionate, they are very like, okay, do whatever you want to do, not becoming a bad person. So that's why over here it is said, how is a beautiful dead lady? She's beautiful but she's dead, good for nothing, she's dead. So in the same way, your good manners are of no use if it is not backed up with sincerity. And now the flip side, it is like you are honest, you are straightforward, but without discipline. Like you don't know where to stop, how to say, with no civility. So that thing is again not good. So he's given two examples. So if you are a very soft person, soft spoken, good mannered, you need to be sincere means you need not be in that energy like I'm a good person, I cannot say bad to anyone. There you need discipline. And if you are a straightforward person, you are extrovert, you can say anything. Over there you need to be careful with your words, that it is not giving unpleasant experience to someone. So you see, there are two sides of discipline. Master was apparently satisfied with my spiritual progress, for he seldom referred to it. In other matters, my ears were no strangers to reproof. My chief offenses are absent mindedness, intermittent indulgence in sad moods, non observance of certain rules of etiquette, and occasional unmethodical ways. So, Master was apparently satisfied with my spiritual progress, for he seldom referred to it. Means he was satisfied whatever work Guruji was doing, whatever practices he was doing. But his chief offenses means things that he lacked, or you can say his weakness were absent mindedness, intermittent indulgence in sad mood. I think it happens with a lot of spiritual practitioner, or like you can say normal people. At times we just become sad. Means we have no reason. We just go into the sadness. Non-observance of certain rules of etiquettes and occasional unmethodical ways. Observe how the activities of your father, Bhagavati, are well organized and balanced in every way. My guru pointed out. The two disciples of Lahari Mahasya had met soon after I began my pilgrimages at Serampur. Father and Sri Yukteswar admiringly evaluated the other's worth. Both had built an inner life of spiritual granite insoluble against the ages. So often, Sri Yukteswar ji said that look at your father, means Paramahansa Yogananda ji's father, that you look at him, how he has balanced and so well organized his life. The two disciples of, because his father was the disciple of Lahari Mahasya, and then Guruji was the disciple of Sri Yukteswar ji. So both had built an inner life of spiritual granite and insoluble against the ages. From transient teachers of my earlier life, I had imbibed a few erroneous lessons. A chela, I was told, need not concern himself strenuously over worldly duties. When I had neglected or carelessly performed my task, I was not chastised. Human nature finds such instruction very easily of assimilation under master's unsparing rod. However, I soon recovered from agreeable delusion of irresponsibility. As earlier mentioned, Guruji said that he had certain weaknesses, like not following the rules, means sometimes getting lost, and what else it was? Yes, absent mindedness. So now he is telling that never did Sri Yukteswar ji talked about it, but human nature find instruction very easy of assimilation under master's unsparing rod. However, I soon recovered from agreeable delusion of irresponsibility. So all these traits that was his weakness, these were the signs of being an irresponsible person. So gradually he recovered from this agreeable delusion of irresponsibility. I think most of us have this mindset like why to hear, not to listen, going absent mindedness. So these are traits of irresponsibility. Those who are too good for this world are adorning some other. Yukteswar remarked. So long as you breathe the free air of earth, you are under obligation to render grateful service. He alone who has fully mastered the breathless state is freed from cosmic imperatives. I will now not fail to let you know when you have attained the final perfection. So over here, Sri Yukteswar ji is telling like those who are too good for this world are adorning some other. Like if people, those who are too good for this world, they are doing something more good. So as long as you are breathing, as long as you are alive, you have an obligation on this planet Earth. You are under obligation to render grateful service. So at the end of the day, it is not how much you earn, how much wealth you have created, how your children are doing, whether you have married the love of your life. It is the end thing is what services are you rendering to the society, to planet Earth. So master is telling that as long as you are breathing, getting this fresh, free air, which is not priced, you have an obligation to render grateful service. What master is trying to say, as long as you are alive, you have service to do. He alone who has fully mastered the breathless state means people who have breathless state means people who have left their body is freed from cosmic imperative, so they don't have any obligation now. I will not fail to let you know when you have attained the final perfection. And master is telling that I will not means I will let you know when you have attained that perfection. My guru could never be bribed even by love. He showed no leniency to anyone who, like myself, willing offered to be his disciple. Whether Master and I were surrounded by his students or by strangers, or were alone together, he always spoke plenty unbraided sharply. No trifling lapse in shallowness or inconsistency escaped his rebuke. This flattering treatment was hard to endure, but my resolve was to allow Sri Yukteswar to iron out each of my psychological kinks. As he labored at his titanic transformation, I shook many times under the weight of his disciplinary hammer. So, like, everyone has got strength and weaknesses. So, all the disciples tried to bribe Sri Yukteswar ji so that he becomes little lenient, he's not that strict. But like over here, Guruji is saying that he was ready, willing to become his disciple. So it was also kind of bribe, like, I am willing to become your chela. So maybe this willingness will create some kind of, softness in his behavior. But it was not like that. He showed no leniency to anyone. Whether master and I were surrounded by his students or by strangers or were alone together, he always spoke plainly, unbraidedly, sharply. He never saw that the student is surrounded by strangers or they are alone or they are in public. He used to say very sharply and like what needs to be done. I think a true guru is like this. He will be very strict so that it is good for you. You'll not get people like this in your day-to-day life. No trifling lapse in shallowness or inconsistency escaped his rebuke. This flattening treatment was hard to endure, but resolve was to allow Sri Yukteswar to iron out each of my psychological needs. Now, one more thing you need to understand, like we are talking about energy, we are talking about healing, but once a disciple is in the spiritual journey, or any person, any soul is in a spiritual journey, I would like to, bring light to this. There are a lot of psychological things that we are not aware, but we do it in a vicious cycle. Like, for example, some people use spirituality as to get attention because spirituality has got a lot of energy. Because of the energy, it gets a lot of attention. So, some people have got the trait to seek attention. So, they use spirituality as an instrument to get attention. So over here, so this is one of the psychological thing that I'm talking about, but you can understand there are so many. Like some people have got psychological thing like to become the victim role. They always create this situation where people go against them, and then they come out with that, see, I'm the one who's left out, I'm the one who has to do it all the things alone. So you need to understand your psyche, your psychological thing, like what is that subconscious programming that you are following without awareness. It is, you can say it is your by default nature. So spirituality and blessing of guru helps you to overcome that. We all have certain psychological things, regardless of our practices, regardless of a meditation, healings. There is some default programming that we need to be aware of, and get to overcome it. Like for example, I'll tell you mine. I realized it very later, like after very means a lot of patterns, lot of experiences I've seen. Like what I used to do, because I had past of not being taken care of, not being accepted, not being loved. So what I used to do, like when I used to get that loving warmth energy from my friends, or from some people, like who really care about me, so my brain used to offended, like it used to create situation like no, I'm not lovable. So I used to push back those people, even be it my friends or my close one. I used to just push back and say, and then I was like, "Ki, I have to be alone. Like there's no one to love. Don't be dependent on people. Don't all kind of these self talk, negative talk, because I had the past of not being loved, not being accepted. So my brain had programmed those things. And whenever some people used to come close to, emotionally come close to me, be it my friends, be it my near and dear ones, I used to just hypothetically create such certain situation in my mind that I used to bring some or the other reason. Like if you're not talking to me, I think you don't want to talk to me, you don't want me to be in your life. All these kind of story my mind used to cook, and I used to push back those people, and this had become my pattern. I have done this for many years, until one fine day I felt, with the blessings of, you can say, higher beings, my teacher, it came like an inner reflection that this has become my psychological pattern. I do these things. So then I started bringing changes in myself. So in the same way, what I'm trying to say, we all have some psychological patterns that we subconsciously, it is so subtle that we are unaware, and we behave and we feel like it's very normal. But what I'm trying to say, seek help from the gurus, from universe, And after watching this video, I would say, like, you can just simply say this, like, universe, if I carry some kind of psychological patterns which I'm unaware of, please guide me. So then you will come to know what pattern you are carrying. And I'll tell you, it is the biggest challenge. Once you get out of that pattern, your energy level, your upliftment, and it is like a spiritual progress in your life, and you'll achieve a lot of good things in life. So, as he labored at his titanic transformation, I shook many times under the weight of his disciplinary hammer. If you don't like my words, you are at liberty to leave anytime, Master assured me. I want nothing from you but your own improvement. Stay only if you feel benefited. So, like, like a very dedicated teacher, he used to say, like, if you don't like my word, you are free to leave the, ashram. I want nothing from you but your own improvement. Stay only if you feel benefited. For every humbling blow, he dealt my vanity. For every tooth in my metaphorical jaw, he knocked loose with stunning aim. I am grateful beyond any facility of expression. The hard core of human egotism is hardly to be dislodged except rudely. With its departure, the divine finds at last an unobstructed channel. In vain, it seeks percolate through flinty heart of selfishness. Yes, we'll continue this paragraph in the next video.